What's up, metalheads? My name's Jamie. This is the Blades and EDC channel, and today I got a really cool knife for you guys to take a look at. This is the TRM Neutron, or Three Rivers Manufacturing Neutron. Neutron 2, and this one has had the milled titanium scales added to it. This knife was sent in to the channel to be checked out, so thank you to Craig for sending this in. I tell you, as I get more of these American-made knives in hand, the more of a fan I'm becoming of American-made knives. TRM is a relatively newer company. Not sure what year they started, but they are very popular, and their knives are sold out pretty frequently. All their knives are sold out, and their scales. They make all their own scales and everything in-house, and beautiful work they do. I got to give them that. Look at the milling down the spine here. Just beautiful. And it's hard to see. Those aren't just lines. If you look really closely, it's hard to get the camera to pick it up. There's like little, I don't know if the CNC machine's leaving those little etch marks on every one of those lines, but it's like very fine milling. It looks amazing in person. I don't know if I can get it to show up good on camera, but it's beautiful in person. And I'm actually going to be today taking this pocket clip off and polishing it, give it more of a polished look like the titanium scales have, instead of that, I'm not sure what kind of finish that is, some type of blast. But they, to get their scales to look this way, they use ceramic balls and tumble them in ceramic balls. It gives them this more polished finish, which is good to learn, because I'm going to look into getting some of those ceramic balls, and I've got a little small tumbler here, and see if I can get some stuff to turn out like this with this much of a finish, just tumbling it in ceramic balls. It doesn't tell the diameter of the balls, but I'm sure I can figure it out. Yeah, pretty cool that you can get polished titanium like this just from putting them in a tumbler. Yeah, the fit and finish on this knife is fantastic. It is on washers and has that washer feel to it. I do have one gripe with this knife, which I'll get into in a minute. But first, let me tell you the specs on the knife real quick. Alright, overall length is 7 1/16. Closed length is 4 inches. Thickness is 0.36 inches. So it's pretty thin. Weight's 2.5 ounces. The blade length is 3 inches. Blade thickness is only 90 thousandths, so super slicey. Full flat ground blade. CPM 20 CV steel. And the liners are also titanium, and you can get this knife in all different varieties, from micarta to carbon fiber, G10. I think there's even fat carbon, which would be sick on this knife. I really like this knife, and it's not just that I'm liking more and more American-made knives. I think I'm starting to really like washer knives. The filling you get on a washer knife that's done well, it's just, I don't know, something different about it. It has that glassy, smooth filling, like it's just like the blade is floating. And one of my gripes on this knife is surprising to me, since it is on washers, because the detent's pretty light, right, on this knife. And normally with a washer knife, trying to shake a blade out is not the easiest thing to do. But with this knife, the detent's pretty light, and even on washers, that's how smooth it is, that on washers you can still shake it out like that pretty easily. Pivot's not loose or anything, it just has a lighter detent in it, which honestly it doesn't bother me. It's just my concern with, see, I have to give it a pretty good shake to get it to come out, so I don't think it's going to come open in my pocket or in your pocket, and I'm not sure that they're all this light. But this one definitely is a lighter detent, so, but it feels really good. I think it's done intentionally, because it's on washers, to give it the action of a knife on bearings, but the feel of a knife on washers. I think that's what they're going for with this design, with the way they did it, because the action, I mean, to be on washers, it's just ridiculously good. I mean, it drops shut on washers. We gotta shake it a little bit, but not much. The reverse flick is fantastic, and the thumb flick is fantastic. It's just a really, really well-made knife. I'm really liking TRM. I don't own any TRMs currently, but that's going to change in the future. Actually, I have another knife here. Let me give you some size comparisons. I've got another TRM here. Two other TRMs, actually, from Cue Ball to check out, which is making me really like TRMs. The Shadow, we'll compare it to the Shadow, but we'll compare it to two Shadows. Oh, the #1 knife on my grill list right here. The Titanium Shadow. Look at that knife, guys. It is gorgeous. Cue Ball's actually used it. There's actually tape residue on there. I don't know if I would use this knife if I owned this knife. I really don't. I'd be afraid to damage it. It's just too damn beautiful. All right, let me give you some other size comparisons. But yeah, TRM, man. First two I've had by them, and I am super impressed. Here's the bug out. Now, the bug out's going to be quite a bit longer, but where the bug out's going to be more similar is in the thickness. But this is even slightly thinner than the bug out. Not by much, though. Pretty thin knife. And here's the Rockwall. So pretty close size there, almost identical in length to the Rockwall. Here's the Yojimbo 2. Yeah, quite a bit smaller than the Yojimbo 2. How about the Tuya Big Belly? It's so front heavy, wants to tip on me. Yeah, quite a bit smaller than both of those. Where's my pair of 3 at? Oh, there it is. Hiding behind the camera where I can't see it. Always like to do the pair of 3. Very close size comparison there. Length and everything's very similar. Probably, if you like the size of the pair of 3, you'll probably like the size of this. And the Vist variant PE2s may start shipping out this week. Super excited about that. Super cool knife here. TRM is I've seen the Shadow. I've been watching lots of videos on the Shadow. I just love the look of a Shadow. Until Cue Ball sent these, I'd never felt one. So, you know, I was worried that you finally get that knife that you've been wanting in hand. And you're like, oh no, it doesn't live up to your expectations. But the Shadow definitely does. And when I got this, before I got the Shadows, got this one from Craig, this gave me very high hopes, even higher hopes for the Shadow, because I really like this. This is done very well. This is a fantastic EDC size knife. And these aren't that expensive, honestly. To be made in the USA, without the titanium scales, the micarta scales, these are $200. 20 CV blade steel, made in the USA. Great action. And then you can buy all kinds of different scales for these separately. Or they actually sold this version with the titanium scales also, and I think it was $450, right around $450, something like that. Because I think the scales, to buy these scales, they're $180 when they're in stock. So you'd have, well, that wouldn't be right. Let me go look real quick. I think the scales were $180 for the scales, and the titanium. Yeah, the scales are $180. These titanium scales are, but to buy the titanium Neutron with the scales already installed was $342. So I was way off. $342. So you do get a little bit of a discount if you buy it with the titanium scales, which I would want it with these scales for sure. So if they were available and I was buying one, I'd go ahead and buy it in this with these scales on it. Save a little money. Save about $40. And then if you want to add some micarta scales or something like that, you can always get those down the road. But yeah, only thing I can really point out negative on this knife is that weaker detent. But it's on washers and it drops, guys. It's pretty amazing to me that it drops like that on washers. But you can shake it out. So, all right, guys, that's going to wrap it up. Thank you so much for watching. If you're new here, subscribe and turn your notifications on. And if you enjoyed the video, hit that like button for me. That really helps the channel grow. And the channel's been growing faster than ever recently. So thank you all so much. And I will see you guys on the next one.